The idea that aliens have visited Earth draws much speculation, excitement, and even scorn. But just what is the evidence? The truth is that there is a massive amount of evidence to prove the case in any court in the world. For thousands of years, mankind has looked to the skies and reported strange beings and craft to his fellow man. Whether in eyewitness accounts or religious texts, these accounts have been recorded and can justifiably be used as evidence. This is the story of how aliens have been visiting our planet for thousands of years, and the fact our governments know and have even used alien technology. The idea of aliens' existence has been a subject of great interest amongst astronomers and researchers for years. The universe is vast and is believed to host billions of stars and planets, with some of them potentially supporting life. However, the question of whether there are aliens out there somewhere, or are we all alone in the universe, remains a tricky one to answer. This film aims to prove that aliens exist. The sheer size and age of the universe justify the probability of alien life. Scientists estimate the age of the universe to be around 13.8 billion years, and many of its galaxies are even older than our own. Considering the increasing number of known habitable planets, along with the time it took to form them, it seems reasonable to assume that somewhere within the universe is an alien civilization. The conditions required for life as we know it are present elsewhere in the universe. Earth supports life because it has an atmosphere, water, and is not too far from the sun, leading to ideal temperatures for life. It goes without saying that these conditions exist elsewhere in the universe too. Other forms of life are likely to have developed on some of these planets, a possibility that can add further conviction to the argument of proving the existence of aliens. Notable sightings of unidentified flying objects by reputable people and government agencies are proof of aliens. Although most UFO sightings can be dissented by natural causes such as misidentification of planes and weather balloons, some have been observed to perform extraordinary maneuvers and to have no visible means of propulsion. These sightings are hard to ignore, and the government's efforts to downplay them are suspicious. The elemental composition of the universe could provide evidence for alien life. The same basic molecular components necessary for life on Earth exist throughout the universe. Water, carbon, and amino acids are present in almost every corner of the universe, providing additional support for the likelihood of extraterrestrial life. The research into cosmic rays can help to discover the existence of aliens. The cosmic rays are charged particles that move through space, and their origin is relatively unknown. Some scientists believe they could be evidence of unknown alien entities attempting to send signals through space. The nature of our own bodies suggests the existence of alien life. The human body consists of various organic compounds that have yet to be found naturally occurring on our planet. This fact leads to a suggestion that there are other forms of life that have already been discovered, yet we are not aware of them. The possibility of microbial life on other planets is high. As recent discoveries have shown, microbes are the simplest forms of life, and they can thrive in extreme conditions such as high radiation levels, harsh environments, and extreme temperatures. The presence of microbe-like organisms on other planets other than Earth could support the proposition that other forms of life also exist. The probability of humans being alone in this universe is low. The existence of the universe as we know it can be traced back to a unique set of events that could have happened by chance. The combination of the universal conditions that are necessary for human life seems too perfect to be an accident or product of chance. The existence of extraterrestrial intelligence could explain the enigma that is the Fermi paradox. This is an intriguing mystery that has puzzled scientists for decades. Named after renowned Italian physicist Enrico Fermi, it asks the question, if the universe is billions of years old and likely contains many habitable planets, then why haven't we encountered any other intelligent civilizations? The paradox can be broken down into a few simple questions. First, why haven't we detected any evidence of intelligent life elsewhere in the universe? Second, why hasn't any extraterrestrial civilization visited our planet? And third, why have we not made contact with any extraterrestrial civilizations? There have been many theories proposed to explain the Fermi paradox. One popular theory is that intelligent life is rare, and that the universe is so vast that we haven't encountered it yet. Another theory is that intelligent civilizations are actually quite common, but that their civilizations are destroyed before they can develop the technology to travel to Earth. The Drake equation is a mathematical equation designed to calculate the likelihood of intelligent life in the universe. It takes into account factors such as the rate of star formation, the fraction of stars with planets, and the fraction of planets that can sustain life. The equation suggests that there are likely many habitable planets in the universe, but we still haven't encountered any evidence of intelligent life. The Fermi paradox remains unsolved, and it's unlikely that we'll ever find a definitive answer, unless, of course, our governments already have the answer and are keeping it from us. In the end, the conclusion of the paradox suggests that despite the likelihood of extraterrestrial existence, our existence and the possibility of communication with these entities seem absent. However, the actual secret presence of intelligent aliens could explain this discrepancy. And there is also the concept of panspermia. It implies that life on other planets could have been transferred from Earth by asteroids, meteorites, or other galactic entities. The basis of this theory has already been proven by scientists who have observed the exchange of rocks between Earth and Mars. Hence, alien life could have arguably been transported from one planet to another. Another question, of course, is could aliens exist in the quantum realm all around us? This is a question that many scientists and astronomers have pondered. After all, the quantum realm is a place of infinite possibilities, and the laws of physics are very different than those in our everyday world. The quantum realm is a strange place, where particles can exist in multiple states at once and can even interact with each other without any physical contact. It's a place of uncertainty, where the laws of physics do not always apply. For this reason, some scientists and theorists believe that there could be alien life forms in the quantum realm, existing in a state of superposition, where they can exist in multiple states at the same time. This idea is not as far-fetched as it may seem. Many experiments have shown that particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously. This means that if an alien species was able to exist in a quantum state, they would be able to exist in multiple places at once and could potentially even communicate with us without ever leaving their own realm. The possibility of alien life forms existing in the quantum realm is an exciting prospect, and one that could lead to new discoveries and advances in our understanding of the universe. While there is still much to learn about the quantum realm, the potential for alien life forms is definitely worth considering. There is compelling evidence that supports the existence of aliens, ranging from the size and age of the universe, elemental composition, microbial life in extraterrestrial environments, to unidentified flying objects. As research continues to provide more clues, the possibility of encountering intelligent alien life remains an exciting prospect for scientists and the broader community alike. It's only a matter of time before we, the general public, are allowed to discover the existence of extraterrestrial life. Indeed, maybe we should put more effort into uncovering the secrets of our own governments to reveal the knowledge that they have about aliens already visiting our planet. But the question is, of course, have aliens really visited Earth? Over the years, there have been numerous claims that they have. While it's difficult to prove beyond a doubt that these claims are true, there are several factors that suggest that aliens have indeed visited our planet. The first piece of evidence comes from accounts of people who have reported seeing UFOs. There have been thousands of reports of unidentified flying objects over the years, with many individuals claiming to have seen strange objects in the sky that cannot be explained by conventional aircraft. While these sightings are often dismissed as hoaxes or misidentifications, some are backed up by credible witnesses such as police officers and military pilots. In addition, some of the reports have been investigated by organizations such as the U.S. government, which has released declassified documents on the subject. All of these factors suggest that there is something out there that cannot be easily explained by human technology. Then there is the presence of strange artifacts and structures that cannot be easily explained by conventional means. For example, there are several ancient structures such as the pyramids of Giza and Stonehenge that are thought to be too advanced for the time period in which they were built. Additionally, there have been claims that certain artifacts, such as the Antikythera mechanism, a device that was discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of Greece, could not have been created by humans at the time it was made due to its complexity. These artifacts suggest that there may have been advanced civilizations that were not of this world that visited Earth in the past and possibly passed on their knowledge. And there is the existence of crop circles. Crop circles are formations that are created in fields by flattening crops in a circular pattern. While some have been proven to be hoaxes created by humans, others are thought to be too complex and intricate to have been made by humans alone. Additionally, some crop circles have been accompanied by anomalous radiation readings and other unexplained phenomena, suggesting that there may be something more to these formations than meets the eye. There are also alien abductions. While these are often dismissed as fantasies or hallucinations, there are many individuals who claim to have been taken aboard alien spacecraft and subjected to experiments. These individuals often report similar experiences, including being examined by strange beings and being subjected to bizarre medical procedures. While it's difficult to prove these claims, the sheer number of reports suggests that there may be something more to this phenomenon than simple hallucinations. There are also the large number of UFO sightings near military installations. There have been numerous reports of UFOs hovering over or near military installations, suggesting that aliens may be interested in our military technology. There have even been reports of military personnel encountering alien beings during these events. While the military has been reluctant to acknowledge these events publicly, there have been declassified documents that indicate that these sightings are taken seriously by some within the military. Then we have evidence that we have been in communication with extraterrestrial beings. These individuals often report receiving messages from aliens via telepathy or other means. While these claims are difficult to prove, they're often accompanied by detailed descriptions of the aliens and their technology, suggesting that there may be some truth to these claims, especially as many of these reports are similar the world over. There are also multiple instances of UFO sightings near nuclear facilities. These sightings have often been accompanied by reports of interference with nuclear devices, suggesting that aliens may be interested in our nuclear technology. This has led some to believe that aliens may be trying to prevent nuclear war or other nuclear disasters. There is also the unusual physical properties of some UFO sightings. There have been reports of UFOs that can change shape, move at incredible speeds, and exhibit other unusual flight characteristics. These sightings suggest that the objects are not conventional aircraft and may indicate the existence of advanced technology not currently understood by humans. So, there's a lot of evidence to prove that aliens have been abducting us, as many claim. When presented with a topic such as proving that aliens have been abducting people, we must approach it logically and critically. One of the strongest pieces of evidence is the sheer number of people who report alien abduction experiences. The National UFO Reporting Center, which collects reports of UFO sightings and encounters, has documented over 4,000 cases of alien abduction since its inception in 1974. This means that approximately 100 people per year are reporting these kinds of experiences, suggesting that the phenomenon is far more common than many assume. In addition to the sheer number of reports, many of the accounts are strikingly similar. Many abductees report being taken aboard a craft, being subjected to medical examinations, and being returned with no memory of the experience. This consistency between stories further bolsters the statistical evidence, as it suggests that the reports are not simply the product of overactive imaginations. There's also the fact that abduction experiences are not limited to a particular region or demographic. Reports of alien abduction have been made in nearly every country in the world and have come from people of all ages, genders, and walks of life. This suggests that the phenomenon is not limited to a particular group of people, but is instead a global phenomenon. The concept of alien abduction has been around for centuries, but modern accounts of alien abduction began to appear in the late 1960s. Since then, there have been numerous reports of people claiming to have been abducted by aliens, and some of these stories have become quite popular. One of the most famous alien abduction cases is that of Barney and Betty Hill. In 1961, the Hills were returning to their home in New Hampshire after a vacation in Canada when they noticed a bright light in the sky following them. The light eventually came close enough that they could make out its shape, which they described as a flying saucer. The Hills were then reportedly taken onto the craft and subjected to a medical examination before being released. Another famous case is that of Travis Walton, who was allegedly abducted while working in a forest in Arizona in 1975. Walton reported being taken on board a spacecraft and subjected to a medical examination as well. He also claimed to have seen multiple aliens on the craft and to have interacted with them in some way. More recently, in 2018, a woman in the United Kingdom reported being taken on board a spaceship where she was subjected to a medical examination and shown a number of images and videos. She also claimed that the aliens told her that they were from another planet and wanted to give her a message for the human race. There is, in fact, a significant amount of evidence to suggest that aliens are abducting people. The consistency of accounts, physical evidence, and sightings indicate that these extraterrestrial life forms are indeed carrying out experiments and studying human beings. While there is no official confirmation of this phenomenon, the sheer weight of circumstantial evidence makes it difficult to dismiss entirely. We cannot ignore the evidence supporting this theory. The existence of UFOs has been questioned for decades, but governments have consistently denied their existence. Still, there are numerous reports from credible witnesses who claim to have seen them, along with photographic and video evidence. Governments have been covering up UFOs, and this can be proven by looking at various instances where government officials have denied the existence of UFOs despite evidence to the contrary. The Roswell incident is perhaps the most well-known example of government cover-ups regarding UFO sightings. According to various documents and reports, a UFO crashed in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947, and the U.S. military recovered the crash site and its occupants. The government has repeatedly denied this occurrence, stating that it was just a weather balloon. However, several witnesses have come forward, including military personnel, who claim to have seen the wreckage and the bodies of the occupants. The U.S. Air Force initiated Project Blue Book in 1952 to investigate UFO sightings. The project continued until 1969, during which it collected around 12,000 reports of UFO sightings. However, the government has maintained that no evidence of extraterrestrial life was found during these investigations. The project's objective was not to prove the existence of aliens, but to identify and explain flying objects in the sky. Still, there are many reports and investigations within Project Blue Book that suggest that extraterrestrial life is behind many of the UFO sightings. Governments across the world have cited national security concerns as the primary reason for their cover-ups regarding UFOs. They fear that public knowledge of UFO sightings might cause panic or reveal military secrets. However, this does not justify denying the existence of UFOs entirely. The public deserves transparency and honesty from their governments. There is evidence to suggest that political manipulation is behind many government cover-ups regarding UFO sightings. For instance, the U.S. government reportedly created elaborate hoaxes in the 1960s and 1970s to discredit UFO sightings and their witnesses. Additionally, in the 1950s, the CIA created a fake UFO sighting in East Germany to cause panic and divert attention from their spy plane programs. One of the ways governments and the media have downplayed UFO sightings is by mocking the witnesses. This tactic is often seen in popular culture, where people who believe in UFOs are portrayed as wacky or paranoid. These types of depictions lead to social stigmatization, where even credible witnesses are hesitant to come forward. Thus, the lack of witnesses and the public being hesitant to share their experiences make it easier for the governments to deny the existence of UFOs. Over the years, many government insiders have come forward and admitted that there have been cover-ups regarding UFO sightings. These whistleblowers are people in positions of power who say they were ordered to keep quiet about UFO sightings or were part of elaborate hoaxes. However, these insiders often face ridicule and skepticism from their colleagues and the public, which might discourage others from coming forward with their stories. Former military personnel have come forward and testified about their experiences with UFOs. For example, many former pilots claim to have seen UFOs during their careers, and some have even said that they had to chase them. However, the military typically explains these sightings away as weather phenomena or other natural occurrences. Governments have also suppressed news and documentary media regarding UFO sightings. For instance, in the 1950s, the U.S. government pressured television networks to cancel the broadcast of a UFO documentary. Also, in recent years, there have been revelations where the government has pressured some media outlets to downplay or ignore credible UFO sightings. The government's silence on significant UFO sightings is perhaps the most telling of their cover-up. For example, a former Canadian defense minister claimed that the government has knowledge of at least 4 alien species that have visited Earth. Additionally, numerous high-ranking officials in various governments worldwide have claimed that UFOs are a reality, and they have seen them. Yet the government has never acknowledged these claims or provided a plausible explanation. Despite the government's silence, there is a growing community of individuals who believe in the existence of UFOs and extraterrestrial life. This community includes not only conspiracy theorists, but also scientists, astronauts, and military personnel who have witnessed unexplained phenomena. In recent years, there have been efforts to destigmatize the study of UFOs and to encourage more open discussion and investigation. Perhaps one day, the truth about UFOs and their potential implications for humanity will be revealed. While some may dismiss the idea of UFOs and extraterrestrial life as mere fantasy, there is a significant amount of evidence to suggest otherwise. From unexplained sightings to mysterious crop circles, there are countless mysteries that have yet to be fully explained. The study of UFOs and extraterrestrial life may hold the key to unlocking some of the greatest mysteries of our universe. As we continue to explore and discover new things about the world around us, it's important to keep an open mind and to consider all possibilities. Who knows what we may discover in the years to come? The evidence presented here suggests that governments have been covering up UFOs for decades. They have used various tactics, such as political manipulation, suppressing media coverage, and mocking witnesses to maintain their narrative. While some may argue that the government has valid reasons for keeping UFO sightings under wraps, such as national security concerns, the lack of transparency and honesty only fuels conspiracy theories and mistrust in the government. It's time for the government to come clean and provide the public with the truth about UFOs. Only then can we move forward with a better understanding of our place in the universe. The government's cover-up of UFOs not only undermines public trust, but also hinders scientific progress. By withholding information about potential extraterrestrial life, the government is impeding scientific research that could lead to groundbreaking discoveries and advancements in technology. Additionally, the lack of transparency surrounding UFO sightings only perpetuates fear and ignorance, preventing us from fully embracing the possibility of life beyond our planet. It's time for the government to prioritize honesty and transparency, not only for the sake of public trust, but also for the advancement of science and human understanding. Covering up UFOs and abductions perpetuates a culture of secrecy and mistrust, where citizens are left to speculate and create their own theories about what the government may be hiding. This lack of transparency erodes the very foundation of democracy, where citizens have the right to know what their government is doing and hold them accountable. By coming clean about UFO sightings and potential extraterrestrial life, the government can begin to rebuild trust with its citizens and foster a culture of openness and honesty. The cover-ups not only undermines democracy but also hinders our understanding of the universe and our place in it. The possibility of extraterrestrial life raises profound questions about the nature of existence and our place in the cosmos. By suppressing information about UFO sightings and potential encounters with alien life, the government is depriving us of the opportunity to explore these questions and expand our knowledge of the universe. It's time for the government to acknowledge the reality of UFOs and embrace the scientific and philosophical implications of their existence. So, they came, we saw. Our governments know and covered up. But have we been using alien technology? This is a highly controversial question. While some people believe that aliens have been here and that we have been using their technology, others dismiss such claims as being nothing more than conspiracy theories. However, there are a number of arguments that can be made in support of the idea that we have indeed been using alien technology, and this film will examine some of them. One argument that can be made in support of the idea that we have been using alien technology is that there are a number of technologies that appear to be far beyond our current capabilities. For example, some of the materials that are used in modern electronics are incredibly strong and lightweight, and it's difficult to imagine that we could have developed these materials without any outside help. Similarly, some of the propulsion systems that are used on spacecraft seem to defy the laws of physics as we understand them, suggesting that they are based on technology that is far more advanced than anything we have developed ourselves. Another argument is that there are a number of alleged encounters with aliens that have occurred over the years. While many of these sightings can be dismissed as hoaxes or misidentifications of natural phenomena, there are some that are more difficult to explain away. For example, there have been numerous reports of UFO sightings that are accompanied by claims of strange lights or other phenomena that seem to suggest that something unusual is happening and beyond our present technology. There are a number of people who claim to have worked with aliens or to have seen evidence of their technology. For example, there are a number of people who claim to have been abducted by aliens and to have been subjected to medical experiments and other procedures that suggest a highly advanced level of technology. There are also a number of alleged government cover-ups of evidence of alien encounters. While many people dismiss such claims as being the stuff of science fiction, there is some evidence to suggest that there have been government efforts to suppress information about alien activity on our planet. For example, there are reports of government officials being silenced or threatened if they try to bring evidence of alien encounters and advanced technology to the public. Some of the objects that have been found in space appear to be of artificial origin. For example, there are some objects that are found in the asteroid belt that seem to be made of materials that are not found on Earth. Similarly, some of the objects that have been found on the surface of other planets seem to be too complex to have been formed by natural processes alone. There is evidence of ancient civilizations that had far more advanced technology than we previously thought possible. For example, there are some ancient texts that describe flying machines or other devices that seem to be beyond our current level of technology. Similarly, there are some ancient structures that seem to have been created with a level of precision that is difficult to explain without assuming access to more advanced technology than was available at the time. There are also a number of unexplained phenomena that suggest the presence of extraterrestrial activity. For example, there are reports of objects moving at incredible speeds or changing direction with no apparent explanation and well beyond any form of technology we possess. Similarly, there are some phenomena, such as crop circles, that seem to be too complex to have been created by humans alone. There are a number of technological breakthroughs that seem to have come out of nowhere. For example, there are some revolutionary new materials that seem to have been developed in a very short period of time, without any apparent precursor research. Similarly, there are some new scientific discoveries that seem to have come out of nowhere, being highly unlikely without any assistance from an outside party. So we know the aliens have visited us, but just how long have they been coming? The question of whether aliens came to Earth in ancient times is one that has intrigued people for centuries. While many people remain skeptical about the possibility of extraterrestrial visitation, there is evidence to suggest such visits may have taken place. It's important to note that humans have long been fascinated by the idea of the unknown. We have always sought answers to the big questions, such as where we come from, why we exist, and whether we are alone in the universe. It's not surprising, therefore, that many ancient cultures have stories about visitors from the stars. From the Sumerians to the Egyptians, from the Mayans to the Greeks, stories abound of gods and goddesses who came to Earth from the heavens. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence in favor of ancient alien visitation is the existence of ancient artwork and artifacts that seem to depict extraterrestrial beings. For example, in many ancient rock paintings around the world, we see images of humanoid figures with large heads, slanted eyes, and thin bodies. These figures bear a striking resemblance to the stereotypical image of a gray alien. Similarly, in ancient Sumerian texts, we find descriptions of creatures known as the Anunnaki, who were said to have been responsible for the creation of humanity. Many ancient cultures had knowledge and technology that seems far ahead of its time. Examples of this include the pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, and the Nazca lines in Peru. These structures and designs are so advanced that it's difficult to imagine how they could have been created without some kind of outside help. It's possible that alien beings may have provided this knowledge or even assisted in the creation of these structures. In addition to artwork, artifacts, and knowledge, there are also many accounts of ancient UFO sightings. For example, in the Hindu epic the Mahabharata, there is a description of a flying palace that is said to have hovered over a battlefield. Similarly, in ancient Chinese texts, there are descriptions of flying chariots and fire-breathing dragons that would often appear in the sky. These stories may be interpreted as evidence of ancient alien visitation. It's worth considering the possible motives for alien visitation. It's possible that they came to Earth to observe primitive human cultures and study our behavior. Alternatively, they may have been interested in our resources or even in interbreeding with our species. Whatever their motives, it's clear that ancient alien visitation could have had a profound impact on our development as a species. Some skeptics argue that there is no hard evidence to support the theory of ancient alien visitation. However, this is not strictly true. While there is not enough evidence to prove the hypothesis conclusively, there are certainly many pieces of evidence that support it. In fact, the absence of evidence is not necessarily evidence of absence. It's possible that evidence of ancient alien visitation has been lost to time or deliberately destroyed. Another argument against the theory of ancient alien visitation is that it is simply too fantastical to be true. It is certainly true that the idea of aliens visiting Earth thousands of years ago is a grandiose one. However, just because an idea seems improbable does not mean that it is impossible. Many scientific discoveries and theories have seemed incredible when first proposed, only to be proven true by subsequent evidence. It's also worth noting that the theory of ancient alien visitation is not a new one. As we mentioned earlier, many ancient cultures have stories about visitors from the stars. In the 20th century, many prominent scientists and thinkers, including Carl Sagan, entertained the possibility of ancient alien visitation. It's currently a subject of interest among many researchers in the fields of astronomy and astrobiology. Finally, it's important to remember that science is always evolving and advancing. As our knowledge and technology expand, we may uncover new evidence that supports or refutes the theory of ancient alien visitation. However, for now, it seems that there is a compelling case to be made that alien beings did indeed visit Earth in ancient times. While we may never know the full extent of their influence, it is clear that their presence has left a lasting impact on human history and culture. From the pyramids of Egypt to the Nazca lines in Peru, there are countless examples of ancient structures and artifacts that suggest the involvement of extraterrestrial beings. The idea of ancient alien visitation may seem far-fetched to some, but it is a theory that cannot easily be dismissed. As we continue to explore the mysteries of our past, it's important to keep an open mind and consider all possibilities. Who knows what other secrets and discoveries await us in the future? While the idea that our religions are based on aliens visiting Earth may seem also far-fetched to some, It's worth exploring the evidence that supports this theory. First, let us examine the ancient texts and artifacts of various religions. In many of these texts, there are references to beings that come from the sky, perform miracles, and have advanced technology or knowledge. For example, the Sumerian civilization worshipped a god named Anu, who was said to have come down from the sky in a ship. Similarly, the Bible depicts angels as winged beings who can levitate and teleport. Many religious sites around the world exhibit unexplainable engineering feats that were seemingly impossible to accomplish, given the tools and technology available at the time of their construction. The pyramids of Egypt, the statues on Easter Island, and Stonehenge are just a few examples of structures that have baffled archaeologists for centuries. Could it be that these sites were created with the assistance of extraterrestrial beings who possessed advanced knowledge and technology? Additionally, there have been numerous accounts of alien sightings and encounters throughout history. Some people even claim to have received messages or instructions from these beings, which they attribute to religious or spiritual origins. While these stories are often dismissed as hoaxes or delusions, it's worth considering the possibility that they may be based in truth. The concept of a singular, all-knowing deity who created the universe and governs it from afar is a common theme in many religions. However, it's also a concept that aligns with the scientific theory of intelligent design. This theory suggests that life on Earth was not the result of random chance, but rather was intentionally created by a higher power. It's possible that this higher power could be an extraterrestrial entity. The idea of an afterlife or reincarnation, which is present in many religions, could also be linked to extraterrestrial influence. Some people believe that aliens have the ability to transfer consciousness or souls from one body to another, which could explain the concept of reincarnation. Others believe that aliens have the power to transport humans to a different realm or dimension after death, which could explain the idea of an afterlife. Additionally, the concept of ascension, which is present in many spiritual practices, could also be linked to aliens. Some people believe that aliens have the ability to raise humans to a higher level of consciousness or being, which could explain the idea of ascension. The concept of prophecy, which is present in many religions, could also be linked to alien intervention. Some people believe that aliens have the ability to predict the future and communicate these predictions to humans, which could explain the presence of prophecy in various religious texts. This kind of technology could be linked to the quantum realm concept of alien visitation. The concept of divine intervention, which is also present in many religions, could also be linked to alien intervention. Some people believe that aliens have the ability to intervene in human affairs and alter the course of history, which could explain the presence of divine intervention in religious texts. They came, they saw, and they effected change in human history. Additionally, The fact that many religions share similar themes and stories across cultures and time periods could be evidence of extraterrestrial influence. For example, flood myths are present in various cultures around the world, suggesting that this event may have actually occurred and was witnessed by different civilizations. It's possible that this event was caused by extraterrestrial intervention. The similarity in fantastical religious elements such as angels coming down to Earth across the globe could in fact be eyewitness accounts over thousands of years and hundreds of cultures. Indeed, very similar things are still happening to this day, and most of the modern sightings would have had religious explanations in times past. The fact that UFO sightings and encounters continue to occur to this day suggests that aliens are still interested in Earth and humanity. While the true intentions of these beings are unknown, it's possible that they continue to influence and shape our religions and spiritual beliefs. In conclusion, while the theory that our religions are based on alien visitations may seem outlandish at first glance, there is compelling evidence to support this idea. By examining ancient texts, artifacts, and modern-day sightings, it's clear that extraterrestrial influence has played a role in shaping our religious and spiritual beliefs. The hypothesis that aliens are visiting Earth has been a topic of speculation among scientists, enthusiasts, and the common man. While there is no concrete proof of their existence, the apparent regular appearance of unidentified flying objects in the skies and the reports of alien encounters cannot be dismissed as mere coincidences. One of the primary reasons why aliens might be visiting Earth is the abundance of life-sustaining resources on this planet. The Earth's atmosphere, water, and vegetation make it a unique planet in our solar system. It's possible that aliens have discovered this planet and are interested in the unique life forms that it sustains. Additionally, the recent discovery of exoplanets that are similar to Earth has raised new questions about the existence of life beyond our planet. The aforementioned alien encounters and UFO sightings have been well documented over the years. The claims made by credible witnesses, including astronauts and pilots, cannot be easily dismissed without investigation. The vastness of the universe makes it hard to believe that Earth is the only planet that is inhabited by intelligent life. The possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence only highlights the likelihood of alien visitations. In conclusion, while concrete evidence of alien visitation remains elusive, the regular sightings of UFOs and the reported contact with extraterrestrial beings can no longer be ignored. A comprehensive investigation is required to establish the veracity of people's claims and to determine the intent of the alien visitors. However, given the abundance of life-sustaining resources on Earth and the possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence, it's reasonable to conclude that some alien species may be visiting Earth. Further research and deciphering this intriguing mystery.